we met the railroad, the leader of the railroad, Desdemona, and a couple of, well, like a welcoming party. We met Deacon, I think his name Deacon. He vouched for us, and apparently he was tailing Billy the entire time, and he was the one that brought up the fact that we fucking took out a courser. And let me remind you, we were level 50, like 7, 50, 56, 57 when we took that motherfucker out. Plus, we used a modded weapon that, with our perk alignment, turned this thing into a 320 ballistic damage per shot. And we just used VATS to basically get guaranteed hits. And I think we also used a crit or two to take the courser down. So I'm not denying that they're tough. I'm just saying Billy made it look like a little bitch compared to him. And that's kind of the point. I mean, Billy's the main protagonist in this story. We could become the antagonist with a couple of mods. I'm just saying, we could go bad guy real quick if that's what we wanted here. But right now, Billy's looking like the protagonist, and you don't kill the protagonist. Or if I do die, I just don't show it on the camera. I did it a couple times in the earlier episodes, and that was a mistake. But, that's alright. We live and we learn. Anyway, in this episode, we are going to continue on with this. This is the main story quest as of right now, the molecular level. It's sort of, that's... I didn't want to show you guys this, but I figured I should if you're playing along at home, or if, you know, or if you just wanted to look at these cool quest, little, I don't even know what the, trailers, I guess, that'd be the word that I can come up with. But, anyway, the main story quest, takes us back to Virgil. So, as you can see, I have, I haven't done one thing. And this is a very important thing, and I hope you'll forgive me for not doing, or for doing this on camera instead of off camera like I should have. It's just so that any rads we do incur, they'll remove it. But we're going into the glowing sea in our hot rod. This is the other suit of power that we've had in this garage, basically as my second suit of armor. And this is Juggernaut, this is Hot Rod, the one I'm in, and then this one is going to be for later, a surprise. And some of you guys are like, well, wait, but you don't use power armor all that much, or you've only used power armor once in this entire series, and that's to go into the glowing sea. Correct. But I will let you know, I did wait to be level 50, at least, before going in the glowing sea. One, to make it scarier than all heck, because I think the highest level I've gone to the glowing sea was at like level 40. So I was like, I know things in here are scary. So make them low level, or, you know, not super high levels so that they're manageable. On survival, level 50, it's one shot can kill you. So you better go in with your A game, and you better have your head on a swivel, stay frosty, all those sayings the entire time, or you will die. And we had a couple of close calls even when we had our top tier stuff. So it just really cement the fact that lore-wise, the glowing sea is essentially radioactive hell in the Commonwealth. And that's what I was trying to do with level 50. And I think I've succeeded. Not to toot my own horn, but I think I did. Anyway, enough of tooting my own horn. Let's go talk to Virgil about this courser data that we have. Wow. Talk about the glowing sea. There's the creature I'm most scared of from it. Is the rad scorpion. Those things are more terrifying than a Deathclaw. Then again, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas Deathclaws are way, way scarier. Maybe not in appearance-wise, but the fact that no matter what level you are in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, a Deathclaw can destroy you. Can absolutely rip you to shreds. You could have in-game level weaponry, and that thing is still gonna rip your asshole anew. It's just, that's what Deathclaws are in those games. In this games, they can do that, but if you're properly prepared, you have the right weapons, and you have a suit of power armor especially, I mean, at a certain point you can just start putting them down with relative ease. Oh, there he is. This looks like a backpack. Okay, it's not.
Protect and
I don't know why.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again. You managed to get what you need?
Let's ask him if he has anything for us.
That is a yes. Can't say I'm too surprised. You
Okay.
did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a Courser. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
He defected. We're gonna tell him about the railroad. Fuck what Desmond says about keeping it hush-hush.
The railroad helped me.
Oh god, those kooks. I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines or setting computer terminals free or... Sorry. They just have something of a reputation. You're not the only one who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit. Here's the simple explanation. You need to build a device
Sorry,
that
adjusting
will
headset.
hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport coursers, and send you instead. You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relay. All the data's on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced systems or anything.
It'll
Confidence is
have to be
staggering.
good.
I'm just saying, I can't guarantee it'll work.
Come on,
But
Billy will never
if
pass
you
an
can
opportunity to
build
be
this
sarcastic.
device and make use of that
I guess we
code,
have in the last
you
episode,
should
but you
be
know,
able to override the signal from the Institute's relay.
we still had
Can
sass.
you? I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one person, even you.
Have I given you
Don't
reason to
doubt.
me?
No. But do you realize how critical this is for both of us? And don't you forget our agreement. I've helped you as best I can. If you make it in there, you find that serum. It's my only hope for ever being normal. So you find it. Now go on. Take these and get
Yeah,
to work.
you
You
at
do
first
whatever
sound like a
it takes.
plea,
Call on whoever you know to help you.
and then you made it sound like a threat. But I get it. I mean, if you went from a normal guy to a super mutant in order to survive the glowing sea, you would not be a happy camper. On top of that, we already know super mutants in themselves are low intelligence, but super hostile to anyone that isn't their own kind. In fact, they always say that they're the supreme race, which is a little racist, okay? So I kind of get where he's coming from. Kinda.
protect and serve.
Okay. He also mentioned the railroad's reputation. We'll crack that can of worms in a second. Let's first focus on his crack about them liberating. He said that they were liberating vending machines, you know, or being too busy liberating vending machines than to decode a Courser chip. Desmond said that she saves synths. Now, we've seen synths that look 100% human, who are designed to replace their human counterparts. We've seen that. We've witnessed that.
Nice.
Billy has seen that shit. So Billy is, right now, until he knows more information, is conflicted. Does that mean that Desmond is also repurposing Gen 1s, which are essentially vending machines that have opposable thumbs? Or is she mostly talking exclusively about human? The ones that look human, 100%. Because Dr. Amari even confirmed that whenever the railroad sends her a synth, she gives it new memories. So instead of it having the memories of, say, the humans that the synth is meant to replace, and it gets its own memories. It gets a fresh start. It gets its own identity. It becomes a sentient being. I wouldn't say human, because, you know, it is a synth. It is robotic in nature. But it's not exactly, you know, Mr. Roboto. It's sentient. It has a conscience. It can think for itself. I know calling it repeatedly may irritate some of you. But that's, I mean, I'm referring to as an individual in an individual sense, but wider scope ignoring gender. So hopefully you can sort of tag along with my reasoning. That's not good.
Detected.
Whoever or whatever you are, I know you are out there.
We came in here for one reason, and it has something to do with that power armor set that I showed you earlier, the one that I'm working on.
Commencing termination of organic life force.
Man, that thing hit us twice, and it didn't even do any damage. Puny ass laser guns. I mean, that sparks real discussion, right? Despite Desdemona being, you know, the way that she is, a bitch, she's leading an underground organization that's main mission statement is to free, not only physically, but mentally, synths. What she wants to do is give them a choice, an opportunity to be them, to be an independent variable. If you were to think about it as bare bones, you know, science. And that in its own is a very noble goal. Now, her cold reception towards Billy, the guy who brought her a Courser chip, on top of, you know, seeking them out because he knows darn well that they're the only ones in the Commonwealth, especially after being told by the person that he thought was capable of doing it, that their organization was the only one that could help them. Now, did we divulge the reasons why we needed their help? No. And if we had we done that, would she have been more sympathetic? Maybe. Maybe. We don't know, though. We didn't choose those options, because I can't honestly remember if those options to divulge why we're, you know, going after the Institute. I'm pretty sure. Because I did like a whatchamacallit, What's, you know how there's like a lazy Susan? What's like the honest Harry or something like that? I don't know. It's something similar to that. But basically, the equivalent to that, I had a whole playthrough where basically I only told the truth, no matter what. People, you know, say, you're from the vault, or guess that because I walked in with the vault suit on. Yes, I am. You know, why are you doing this? Why are you going after the Institute? They took my kid, and I want him back. You get the general, so I'm pretty sure that, what I'm trying to say is that I'm pretty sure that, telling Desmona about why we're going after the Institute was an option. Wowza. I got luckier than I thought. Not as lucky as I would have liked. I would have at least liked, I mean, the helmet's not a big deal, but I would have at least liked, complete shoulders. All in all, though, you know, essentially a full suit of X armor. That's pretty top notch. We'll be back for that. So, the reason I came down here was not only to fill the episode with some minutes and a little bit of action on top of, you know, philosophical and moral discussion. It was also to sort of give my brain time to mull this over. We have to develop that device that you saw in the quest trailer. I'm using quotations here. But we need to be in a faction from the Commonwealth. In the case of the Brotherhood of Steel, they're not from the Commonwealth. They come from the Capital Wasteland. That's a whole other storyline for a whole other time. But basically, we have to pick one of these. Railroad, Billy's on the fence about, because while, yes, we just talked about Desdemona's goals are noble, her attitude towards someone who came to them for help and is willing to work with them, as long as, you know, treat Billy equally. Right now, she's kind of flip-flopping between treating him like he's a, you know, a hero and a potential asset to being bitchy at him. Billy doesn't play that game. I mean, Finn from Good Neighbor tried to extort us. We put a bullet between his fucking eyeballs. Now, the Minutemen is where Billy is thinking. The only Minuteman that we know is Preston Garvey. But excuse me. Preston said that the Minutemen are scattered. So that's a bit of a problem. So if we go with the Minutemen, we'd have to basically build them up. We'd have to take the remnants of that faction and rebuild it from the ground up. There's still parts to work with, but it's essentially building a group from the ground up. We go to the Brotherhood of Steel. Sure, they'll be more than willing. They have the technology. But we're no more than a grunt to them. Billy already served his time in the military. Having this freedom of being able to use his combat skills in a way that he sees fit, without any sort of red tape or rank hierarchy to go against his decisions, is liberating to him. And we didn't discuss that earlier, you know, when I first went over the fact that Billy's background is he's in the military. Or technically ex-military, because it was pre-war military. But the problem with the Brotherhood is, I mean, they got the stuff, but they're not treating Billy as Billy should be treated. He put in 90% of the work. 95% of the work at most. The Brotherhood would be supplying the resources and the brain power necessary to build this teleporter to get him in the Institute. What they would ask in return, we don't know. Maybe we visit all of them and we we see. Maybe that's what we do. We go hit up all these people. And we'd be like, all right, here's what I have. Or, you know, I got this. I may or may not divulge my sources depending on whether or not that'd help me. Or, you know, help win you over. But, here's what I need. I need this built. And I need to be able to get into the Institute to kick some ass. Raise some hell. Because they took my kid when he was a baby. And then they killed my wife in front of me. I already got that sumbitch. But I'm gonna headhunt the rest of the people who sent him after. Who sent that bloodthirsty hound dog after my kid and my family, I should say. That's our plan. The problem is, we gotta be very careful about this. If Deacon's able to, with the exception of the glowing sea, obviously, because it doesn't seem like the railroad has access to power armor, and Billy's certainly hesitant to change that fact. We can say with certainty now that Deacon is capable, or it's either Deacon or Deacon, either with a G or with a C. Can't remember. Which is really, really sad because he's one of my favorite companions ever. MacCready, Ada, Codsworth, Dogmeat, of course, Nick. I mean, the companions in this game are so likable. Piper, not so much. My buddy Keegan loves Piper, but I just can't get behind it. She's like Desdemona. She just irritates the crap out of me. That's a little immersion breaking. But this episode was to get the story moving a little bit. It's going to be a little shorter. But it's to pose the question and to get the ball rolling. Who do we go to for this mass undertaking? Virgil said it's too big of a job for ourselves. And Billy will admit, yeah, it is. It requires brains of the mechanical and scientific nature that Billy doesn't have. Billy's smart. Billy's clever. Billy is more combat, art of war clever than he is, scientifically and mechanically. Although, I mean, we did build all of the, the lighting and the water purification and we got these suits of power armor up and rolling. Sorry, when it's off center, it bugs me. So, I mean, some credit, we know our way around a suit of power armor and weapons, but not building a relay that is capable of hijacking a teleporter signal to get us into the most technologically advanced place, aka the boogeyman of the Commonwealth, the Institute HQ. So, in the comments below, I'm going to be personally mulling it over, but I'm also going to be checking the comments on this. Let me know. Where are you guys?
Why don't you just die?
Yeah, the intermittent thought here in my outro. But just, I'm going to be thinking it over. But if you guys have thoughts on which way we should...
Best be careful in case they aren't happy to see us.
Which way do you think we should lean? I mean, obviously, I'm open to, going around the block and seeing what each motivations are behind helping us. What each would ask in return.
Some robots can't think for themselves. It's rather sad.
And in the meantime, while we think on that, because this is a big decision. This is a big decision in the game, which faction you go to for this, just to let you guys know the gravity of the situation here. The power that I'm giving you to influence my choice. In the meantime, we're going to get started, get the ball rolling, on if we decide on the Minutemen, we got to start building them up. We got to start laying down a foundation and getting this organization, this faction of the Commonwealth that used to be well known and have, ties all across the Commonwealth. We gotta get it back up somewhere near its former glory. And, also, after that a reasonable amount of progress has been made there, go visit the Railroad or the Brotherhood and see what they would ask in return for their help, for their brain power and resources. What are their motivations for getting me into the Institute? That's what this episode. It's shorter, but it's got a lot of woomph behind it. It's got a lot of wham, pow, whatever other onomatopoeia sounds you want to throw behind it. It's got a lot. Okay, so I'm doing a little dance right now because I'm excited. I'm excited because this is a big cornerstone, turning point, whatever you want to call it. This is a big, massive. That's beautiful. Oh, I love the skybox. This is just a big part of the game, and I'm excited to see where everyone's heads are at. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Okay, bye.